Okay everyone, so in this next video, let's just start to have a collision for you to be able to collect those wheels. And we do see that we do have a generation of wheels that it generated 6 wheels, 6 times, plus the wheel that we have on the center here. So if we try to go back to here, just as a quick review, we do have a wheel. We're creating a closure. We're storing this group, dynamic group, into that wheel. And then we have some configuration object that contains the key and the texture, the repetition of the children, how many times we would want the children texture to be repeated. So we do see that we have repeat 5 here, and we're expecting that we'll be getting 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it will be creating one child automatically. Then we go back to our, here we do have the set XY. So we do have here the positioning of the children, the instance of the children, and we gave this step X value of 70 just to have all children perfectly spaced out across the screen. And this is going to be handy when it comes to spacing out the objects in our game evenly. As you can see, it's evenly spaced out. Now, the next thing that we would want to do here, if we try to read through the code base again, and if we try to go down here, we do have the collision for the player and the platforms. We added the collision for the wheel and the platforms. We will also need to add the collision for the player to overlap with the wheels. So this physics.add.overlap method, we want to get that, then we pass in some parameters or arguments. So we have the player, we have the wheel. So let's go create a function that we will call in here, because we will need this, the function collect wheel with 2 parameters, the player and the wheel. And we'll have to set the physics body to be disabled. Let's have the wheel dot disable body, and we're passing in true and true boolean values as an argument here. And we wanted to have the parent game object to be inactive and invisible, so that it will be removing the parent from display. So we'll need to use this inside of our collect wheel null and this. And if we try to play this now, let's see what will happen. By refresh, we now see the player is able to collect those wheels. And we are able to collect the wheels. And I think the reason why that's in there is because we added an extra. Let's go up here. Let me just comment this out first. I think we created that in here instead of just calling on the preload, load the asset texture or the sprite that we have for the wheel. And let's have to go refresh this, because supposedly we should only have 6, right? And that's happening because our player's actually colliding with the other. Let's go try to go here, and then let's have to have our player moved. And we know that we can try to do that by looking for, I'm just going to control F, and I'm just going to look for player. So we need to have the position. So let's go look for that player position X value. So we do have the Y. Let's try to reduce this to 290 perhaps, just to test if we'll have enough space for the That didn't work. Go back here. Let's say I wanted to have 280 for the player position X. What are we going to get? We're still able to move. I think let's have 270. To 65 perhaps? Let's just see. And there we go. So we do have those 2 wheels. We can collect those wheels now. As you can see, we now have a player that can collect wheels. And we can just go and lay out some more platforms here for us to be able to jump and collect those wheels. So we were able to solve the issue of one of the image or the wheel sprite showing up on the middle. And we were able to repeat the creation of the wheel sprite or texture 6 times based on the object configuration that we have set up in our wheel dynamic group. I hope that made the code base more clearer in trying to figure out what's currently happening as we try to work with Phaser here. And that's it for this video for the meantime.